Crystal Dynamics just released a brand new update for Avengers, featuring Hawkeye's brand new DLC and the next gen upgrade. And today, I'm here to tell you about what I think of the new additions, so get ready, I'm gonna talk about my favorite 6 out of 10 game, Marvel's Avengers. So, for those of you who don't know, Marvel just released, like I said, their brand new biggest update yet, featuring the next gen upgrade and Hawkeye's DLC. Now, I'm just gonna say it right out the gate, this is not a review of Marvel's Avengers. I've talked about the game enough on my other videos. You can check them out. I have a review of the game, I have a discussion of the new updates, and I even have a video discussing the most divisive update yet. So I've talked about the game a lot. I'm just going to talk about strictly the new DLC, and I'm going to talk about the next gen upgrade, the PS5 Xbox Series X upgrade. So first of all, I'm going to dive into the Hawkeye DLC because I think that's the one thing that a lot of people are interested in. So this is the second DLC that we got. The first one was Kate Bishop, and now we got Hawkeye. These two DLCs are connected as it's one big campaign. For Kate had the side of the story where we were going to look for Hawkeye, while Hawkeye's DLC is more about the future that he was trapped in and he was trying to find Nick Fury. I was pretty excited for this next DLC because the first one was actually really surprising. I really liked playing as Kate. I thought she was a great addition to the roster. She's very fun. She felt different, which is the most important thing about Kate, was she felt different from the other 6 characters that we already had. And it was just a fun time. It was like 3 hours long. It was a pretty good time. It was just a nice way to go back into this world a little bit more. Now, Hawkeye, like I said, promised a lot of big things, and honestly, I gotta admit, and I'm gonna be fully honest here, I think this was a really disappointing DLC for many reasons. The first one is I felt like Hawkeye itself doesn't really stand out from the group because, you guessed it, there's another archer already in the team. We have Kate Bishop. Yes, they have both different attacks, they have different abilities, but the main gameplay, which is usually the attacks, I think the big difference is the specials, which is the L1, R1, and the super combo, the super attack. Those are the big difference between Hawkeye, Clint, and Kate. But when it comes to the actual gameplay of the character, they both feel very similar to each other. And I think this is a problem because you can't release 2 archers and actually think people won't notice how similar they are, because you can clearly tell both are very similar in various aspects. So I think that was the first thing that I felt disappointed was, why are we having another archer after we just got another archer? I think they should have spaced out Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, because this just feeds into the narrative that this game is repetitive because we're literally getting the same characters. I think either they should have just released Kate alone and then Hawkeye in the future with some other characters in between, or they should have released both in one go, which honestly would have been dope because the Kate Bishop side of the story is about 3 hours long. This side of the story is about 2 hours long, 2.5 hours long. So if we combine both, that's 5 hours worth of a campaign here, which is awesome. But nevertheless, they did this separately, and I still think Hawkeye is fun, but it's not. I don't think it justifies someone coming back if you have played the Kate Bishop, because it's mostly the same character with just small differences here and there, and I was kind of disappointed by that. Regarding the story, that was also kind of disappointing. I know this is kind of sound negative, but when they promised us this future imperfect, I was hoping to see a lot of the future. I was hoping to see more about what happened to this future, what happened to Nick Fury, why is Maestro the big guy here, and we kind of get those questions answered somehow. Not really. Like they give us a quick answer, and I honestly wanted more from each side of the story regarding either Nick Fury, Maestro, or just this future. And I was hoping for a little bit more of a map regarding this future. I was hoping that we'd get more areas than one, but we only really get one area to explore, and it's a cool area. It's completely different from what we got before, but you know, it's just not enough in my opinion. I think we needed a little bit more in this future, in this new area, so we could actually get some new content. I don't know, it felt like I was doing the same old thing just in another area, which would be fine, but you know, it just doesn't work. Another thing that I actually didn't like about this DLC, and this might be a nitpick, but honestly I think it should be mentioned, when Kate Bishop had her DLC, we actually saw her interact with other characters. We saw her interact with Cap, we saw her interact with Tony, we saw her interact with Thor. She had a lot of interactions. I think the only character that she really didn't interact is, if I remember correctly, is Hulk. But all the other characters she has a cool interaction with. Hawkeye felt really left out. He only had really an interaction with only Kate, and somehow he had a little bit with Tony, but that's about it. That's really about it. And I felt like he felt so disjointed from the team because it was its own little thing. And you know, when I expect these new characters to drop, I expect them to be, you know, connected with the Avengers, and I hope the story is more connected with the main story than it is. And I felt like Hawkeye was its own little adventure, which honestly it's fine for some people, and some people are probably gonna enjoy it, but for me I was expecting more of a connection with what we got already than its own little thing, which again could be fine for some people, could not work for other people. To me personally, didn't really work out. So honestly, that's about it. Hawkeye has some pretty cool skins. I think if you're going in for the skins, Square Enix does a great job when it comes to this side of the game, because the skins on the game are dope and Hawkeye skins are incredible. I really want the Ronin skin. That skin looks insane. But you know, the game, I think when you think of DLC, you think of the missions, you think of the campaign, and you think of the character. And I think on those aspects, I feel like the DLC was a little bit of a letdown. Personally, I think if you enjoyed the game and you enjoyed Kate Bishop's story, I really think you should actually try this one. But if you stayed away the game after you beat it because Kate didn't seem interested to you, I don't think you're probably gonna enjoy this this new update, because it's mostly the same that we got with Kate. It's just different areas and a little bit of a difference here and there, but it's mostly the same things. But that's about it from the DLC. Now let's get into the next gen update, because this is where I'm really pleased. Okay, let's start off by the biggest thing. Load times. Oh my god, did they fucking fix the load times? The load times are incredible. The time it takes me to load into the game is significantly less than it took me on the PS4. I'm pretty sure it takes me like 5 to 10 seconds. I'm gonna try to put in the video a comparison between the PS4 and the PS5, but oh my god, is this not an improvement? My god, it actually diminished the time we wait for a match or to find someone. They just cut the time on a lot of segments of the game, and I love that. A little disclosure here: if you're on a PS5 and you're playing with the PS4 people, or you're playing with some friends that unfortunately don't have a PS5 version, so they only have the PS4 version, you're gonna experience the same load times that you were experiencing on the PS4, because you know, you can get in the game faster than your friends. So they kind of tweaked it to a point where everyone gets in at the same time. So it's kind of a downside, but honestly it kind of makes sense because you're playing with other people from other consoles, and it's weaker consoles, so you gotta wait for them, you know. So in that aspect, that's the biggest thing. The second thing I really enjoyed about it was the graphics. There's actually an improvement in the graphics. They gave us two modes. There's the performance mode, which is 60 frames and downscaled 4K, or you can play in 30 frames but at true native 4K. And both look insane. It looked way better than it looked on the PS4. Again, it might not look like it on the footage that I'm displaying to you right now, but I swear there's a difference here, and I think it looks great. Speaking of graphically, I guess it's kind of connected. The glitches, there's so less glitches than there were in the game previously. Now you're gonna encounter a few glitches here and there, but they're not game breaking like they used to be. Like, I haven't encountered any glitch that made me, you know, restart a checkpoint or restart the entire level. So I usually found those in the PS4 version. They're non-existent here. There's very little glitches. The only glitch I could find is sometimes when you defeat a villain, or sorry, not a villain, an aimbot, whatever. sometimes when you defeat one, he will start like glitching when he's dead. But that's the only thing I could really find that was worth mentioning, because other than that, the game runs smoothly. And now I gotta talk about the thing I like the most, and this has to be mentioned: the haptic feedback and the rumbling effect on the DualSense. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. The way the game feels on the PS5 controller literally elevates the experience for me, in my personal opinion. Hulk and Black Widow were two characters I played a lot because, you know, I was playing with a friend, he wanted to play with Hawkeye, and you know, I didn't want to be that mood killer, so I was like, okay, sure, I'll level up two characters that I kind of have under level. And so I played a lot with Hulk and Black Widow, and they feel so good. Even Hulk, a character I hate, actually enjoyed in this version, because the way the DualSense works and the way the haptic feedbacks works just makes the experience way better. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. For example, when you grab a rock, if you grab a small rock with Hulk, you're gonna have the haptic feedback is gonna be very easy to, you know, to pull the rock out of the ground. But if you're pulling a big rock, it's actually gonna create some force for you to push, and it's awesome. It makes the experience more immersive, and it just made it cooler to play as Hulk. You could actually feel the weight of being the character, you know. And then when you play with Black Widow, which is the other character that I wanted to mention, she has three types of guns, three types of ammo, I'm sorry, for a gun, and all of them feel different, which is really cool. If you're going with the casual pistols, it's going to be very easy to shoot. But if you go with the hand cannon, it's going to actually feel like a sniper, you know. It's going to actually feel like you have to push really hard to get the shot out. And if you're playing with the SMGs, there's actually a recoil when shooting them. Yes, your left trigger will give you like some kind of recoil when you're shooting with the SMGs. I know it sounds like that's nothing, but to me it's actually game changing. I actually feel a difference playing these characters, and it actually feels different. It's just a better experience, you know. I know it seems like a small thing, but it's just a better experience. And I'm just impressed with the next gen upgrade. I feel like everything they added just works, and they actually fixed the game on where it needed to be fixed, and they upgraded where they needed to upgrade. Honestly, the next gen upgrade is incredible. Personally, I love it. I think it's one, if not the best PS5 upgrade I've played yet. If you have the game, and by the way, this is free. This is actually free. If you have the game and you're thinking of trying it out, do it, please, because I really think it's a different experience, and I really believe you might enjoy it, just based on the little things they added into the game. If you don't own the game, maybe still wait for a discount. I truly like Avengers. I think Avengers is a good game. Maybe not right now, but I think with work we can really have something great here. Like I said, I give this game a 6 out of 10. I will still give it a 6 out of 10 because I don't think the PS5 upgrade can really bump the game itself. It bumps the experience, but I don't think it can bump the game itself. But I really think this game, with future upgrades, it can really become something good. Now, before I end this video, I just wanted to quickly talk about their roadmap, because I didn't do a reaction for the Avengers, Square Enix State of Play or Direct, or you want to call it. I think it was Square Enix Presents. But they did release a roadmap, and you know, it promised a lot of other things outside of Black Panther. It promised new locations, it promised new villains such as Claw, new factions. It promised so much new stuff. I really feel like this expansion is going to be the big one. Other than those things on our roadmap, we also have additional content as Omega level threat missions, multiplayer mega hives. I'm really excited for this mega hive thing, post level 50 progression, and outfits from the MCU, which is awesome. I'm really excited for that one. So this roadmap, it looks decent. There's some things missing here in my opinion. They're definitely missing here some sense of characters. Sure, we have Black Panther, but we were promised in Black Panther, Spider-Man, and there's other characters that were promised this year. I knew that with the delay these characters would take more time, but I'm still kind of let down that they didn't at least give us a further roadmap, something longer with more things to come. But it looks really promising, and I'm actually excited to be playing Avengers again, because everything they seem to be doing right now, it's leading to a, sure, the Hawkeye wasn't as good as I expected, but the next gen upgrade was literally an upgrade, an actual upgrade. I feel like this roadmap is looking promising, and I'm just super excited for the future of Avengers, even if I thought the Hawkeye was kind of disappointing. That will conclude my review of Avengers Next Gen / Hawkeye. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to check us out on Twitch, on Facebook, on Twitter, all links down below. If you want to support us on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything from our channel. And yeah, that concludes our video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.